Hey, Composite Gloves here, and today we're going to be talking about the Waveshapper in Sytrus from the ground up. I know I just talked really fast, so hopefully you're really awake now because you need to be awake for these kinds of things. So we have mode, we have amp, we have mix, we have this thing called the Waveshapper. What is it? Well, okay, some of you might find this a bit of a cheap shot, but I think that it's fine. I have a whole video just for you on the Waveshapper in FL, and I'm going to require that you watch that. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to tell you a few things about this Waveshapper, and it's underneath distortion. Waveshapper, here we go. I have a whole thing. Look up the Fruity Waveshapper. Holy crap, biggest Waveshapper ever. It is the same thing. It's even more fully featured. This is essentially amplitude remapping. That's what this is. So when you turn it on, you've got the amplitude amount, so you can push it farther into your envelope. So now I'm talking, just so you know, as if you've watched that video. So if you didn't watch that video, you're going to get kind of lost if you've never used a Waveshapper or don't know what all this jazz is about. But here we have our amplitude input, our amplitude output, and we have how far we drive the input. So we have mode, and we can go into bipolar mode. So it's pretty much the Waveshapper. It's the same thing. We can affect the bottom differently than the top. So if we turn it on and we get a signal that's not one tone. Okay, so now let's send it to our, whoops, man, what are you doing, man? Okay, we turn this on. We go to our filter one, we put it out. So it goes into our filter. It has to go through our filter. So we don't want our filters to affect anything, right? Right. So we're just going to turn our filters off because we just want the Waveshapper. So we're going to turn our Waveshapper on, and whoop-de-doodle-doo, it's on. You can hear it working. So we could drive how hard it comes in. We could make it bipolar and affect the bottom part. This is something that would be more appropriate for something like that size. Let me configure it for you real quick. Bamzo. There you go. Look at that. Looks like the same thing. Look at that. We have the Gibbs effect right there too. That's the Gibbs effect. You should know what that is now. So we can control the mix that this distortion is applied to. Wow, look at that. Is that cool? You're going to find that you use this a lot with FM. And then we have the amplifier. So we're just driving it further into our mapping is all that the amp's really doing. And then, of course, out of bipolar mode. So it just applies an amplitude remapping. So pretty simple jazz. I didn't really explain that. I just said that like I explained it. But it's explained in my other video. So I'm not going to explain it here. It's just going to waste time. So we have filter, and then we could send. So, okay, that's the Waveshapper. That's the mix. We have Waveshapper, and we have Waveshapper mix. And you can turn the Waveshapper mix on and off using a variety of controls. And the same thing, you could create your envelope just the way you want it. So we could, turn our mix. Maybe we want to do exactly what this is. And we can have a sustain point and everything. We've decided we want an envelope. You know what? No. We want an LFO. LFO seems a little more reasonable. Get rid of all these extra points. LFO. There we go. I don't even care. So we wanted to go kind of fast. This is our Waveshapper mix coming on and off. And delete that. Waveshapper mix, yeah, that's what we want. What did I turn on earlier? I turned something on. It was the volume. Knew it. There we go. Maybe that's something we really want to turn that on and off, because if we FM it a bit harder. I like that. And then we'll come over here to filter one. We'll go to the Waveshapper. And we'll drive it. We're driving it all the way in, so we can do like a lot of crazy stuff. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, that's the thing. You even make it bipolar and do even wilder crap. And so that's pretty nifty. We could even copy something similar to this into the LFO here, the volume, so it'll turn on and off in sync. And we could link them together using a knob. All right, let's just do that. I mean, it's a little involved, but whatever. So we're going to copy state. We're going to do volume. We're going to turn volume on. We're going to paste state. Okay, cool. So we got the same states. Now we're going to create another knob using the fruity sampler, patcher, MIDI. We'll just use a MIDI out. And so we're going to link things up to this knob. So to do that, we want to link the speed up. So we're going to link to controller. Yes, I'm aware. Oh, I'm going to link it to a hardware controller right now to keep things easier. So to move my hardware controller, that changes. Now I'm going to come over here to my Waveshapper. I'm going to click here, link to controller. There we go. So they'll move together now. So if I turn up my speed and play some notes. My volume speed isn't moving. Link to controller. Oh, I had remove conflicts on. There we go. That's pretty nifty. There's a way to do it in here too, but I skipped a step because this is just easier. So anyways, you can do that. So that's really nifty. That's the Waveshapper in a nutshell. Those are some cool ideas. Maybe you could apply it in your own sound design. So we have this one thing I want to cover real quick, and this is the next knob. You put it in next, or you can phase invert it. It will still go to the next filter. So let's say that this is not on, and filter 2 is pushing out. Well, 1 is going into filter 1 is receiving operator 1, and then I'm putting it through to next to filter 2, and you can hear it working in filter 2. If I turn on filter 2, we can see over here that it's got its own Waveshapper, and it's also on with its own setting because I was messing with it earlier. And it's got its own mix, so we could have 2 Waveshapers. We could filter stuff out, so we could go through a filter, then distort it, then go through another filter, then distort it again. This is a very common thing, so it kind of makes sense to have it as a workflow. But you can see that it comes out. So we could do a serial processing, or we could output both. And we could work with that. You know, it's up to you. So we could output this filter, or we could just push it into the next filter. And we could do this 3 times. And we have another one. And after that we've reached our limit, and that's pretty much the end of that. So that is the filter tab. This is now, you know, every control in there. It's getting kind of dark in my room. And then on the effects side, you'll notice that it also, we're going to get into the effects in the next video. So if you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe, and have a blessed day. Vampire Show!